We've been looking at the doctrine and practices of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, the LDS Church as it's known, or it's also known as the Mormon Church, which I don't think really they approve as being a true name for their church. They truly believe that the proper name is Latter-day Saint Church. We've looked at their doctrine and their practices, but what I want to turn our attention to now is questions of political, economic values, and let's talk about the Mormons apart from their theology and practice. I want to look at, in this presentation, Mormon political leadership. Having pointed out all of these various doctrines of the LDS Church, we come to some really important issues that need to be considered, because we're coming to a point when we're going to have an election. The first issue I really want to address is this. Are Mormons qualified to be political leaders? Are they allowed to be in politics? Can they be a trusted people? Who are they? Have they been involved in politics before? Well, let's look at their contributions to politics from the perspective of those who have held. I'm not going to look at bills and laws that are passed per se, but let's just look at people who have been involved. You might know some of them, and how many have been involved in the political structure of things within the United States, and especially at the federal level. Consider, if you will, some of the following people. Senator Reed Smoot. He chaired the Senate Financial Committee and served on the Senate Appropriations Committee, one of the earlier men who served in Congress from the LDS Church. In his day, he was considered one of the most powerful men in America. Secretary of Agriculture, Ezra Taft Benson, was appointed to that position under the Eisenhower administration. Ambassador J. Reuben Clark served in Mexico on behalf of the United States government and was Undersecretary of State. Ambassador John Huntsman served in China and also served as governor of Utah. Secretary of Education, Terrell Bell, Republican. Angela Buchanan, United States Treasurer, Republican. Senator Berkeley Bunker, Democrat, Nevada. Senator Howard Cannon, Democrat, Nevada. Senator Mike Crapo, Republican, Idaho. Senator Jake Garn, Republican, Utah. Senator Bob Bennett, Republican, Utah. Senator Mike Lee, Republican, Utah. Senator Tom Udall, Democrat, New Mexico. Senator Orrin Hatch, Republican, Utah. Representative Chris Cannon, Republican, Utah. Representative James Hansen, Republican, Utah. Representative Ralph Harding, Democrat, Idaho. Representative Wally Herger, Republican, California. Representative John Doolittle, Republican, California. Representative Rob Bishop, Republican, Utah. Representative Jason Chaffetz, Republican, Utah. Representative Jeff Flake, Republican, Arizona. Representative Dean Heller, Republican, Nevada. Representative Paul Labrador, Republican, Idaho. Representative Jim Matheson, Democrat, Utah. Representative Buck McEwen, Republican, California. And Representative Mike Simpson, Republican, Idaho. Clearly, as you can see, there have been a lot of Mormon church members who have served in political positions within the United States Congress, both in the Senate and in the House. But consider this, which I think is quite interesting to say the least. Ronald Reagan, our modern conservative president, to whom many of us look back to with fond memories of what a conservative leader he was in the United States. Ronald Reagan's administration included more members of the LDS Church than any other American president. Reagan, if you remember, was a good judge of character. He had appointed David Fisher, Gregory Newell, and Stephen Studart. They served on his personal White House staff. Richard Worthington was his chief strategist. Ted Bell served as Secretary of Education. Angela Buchanan, who we mentioned earlier, that's Buchanan, he was the one that appointed her as the U.S. Treasurer. Rex Lee was his Solicitor General. His White House included Roger Porter, Brent Scowcroft, Richard Beale, Blake Parrish, John Huntsman Jr., Dodi Borup, and Rocky Coonan. And there were many other Latter-day Saints throughout his administration. The LDS President Thomas S. Monson served on a presidential commission on volunteerism. My point is simply this. There has, in the midst of all of these Mormon senators, representatives, men who have served in administrations, conservative administrations, in various particular positions of authority, there has never been an organized attempt to overthrow the American government by the Mormon Church. Rather, it's just the opposite. Not a conspiracy, but rather there is a strong dedication, as I noted in our earlier presentation on the summation of Mormons' belief. America is considered to be a divinely appointed nation, and the Constitution is viewed as a divinely inspired document. Mormons have been faithful and careful in their execution of political authority, and they have been trusted by some of the most respected conservative leaders we've had in America's history. However, I really, though, do have a question that I would love the Mormons to answer, and that is, explain to me Senator Harry Reid. He has proven to be a terrible leader. The Mormons ought to discipline him. And I think we ought to say in unison, no godhood for Senator Reid. But in spite of him, they have a wonderful track record of being conservative, loyal, and trustworthy individuals in political leadership.